She says she cares. She says she's just busy. But deep down, something feels off. If you ignore these signs, you're not holding on to hope. You're holding on to delusion. And in today's dating game, delusion gets you played. 1. Her words are sweet, but her actions are silent. It's easy to get caught up in what she says, how much she misses you, how she thinks about you, or how she wants to see where this goes. But words mean nothing without matching action. And if you're the one always initiating conversations, planning dates, or keeping the energy alive, you're not in a relationship. You're in a performance, and you're the only one acting. You need to pay attention to patterns. If she tells you she cares but disappears for days, if she says she values your time but keeps canceling last minute, that's not affection. That's manipulation. It's a psychological trap where she keeps you emotionally tied without committing anything substantial. This is where a lot of men lose themselves, in the illusion of potential. She's not cold enough to walk away, but never warm enough to stay. She gives just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to feel secure. This isn't love, it's limbo. And the longer you stay, the more you lose sight of your own value. The truth is, a woman who genuinely wants you will show it without being asked. She won't play games with your time or emotions, so stop listening to her words and start watching what she does. If the two don't match, believe the silence, not the sweet talk. 2. You always feel like you're convincing her. If you constantly feel like you're trying to prove yourself, whether it's by being extra nice, constantly available, or endlessly patient, then you're not being appreciated. You're being tested over and over. And the worst part? You're the only one playing. Attraction isn't something you beg for. It's not something you need to earn through effort alone. When you're always chasing her attention, you create an imbalance. She becomes the prize, and you become the pursuer. That power dynamic rarely leads to mutual love. It leads to one-sided exhaustion. Let's be real. You shouldn't have to remind someone why you're worth their time. You shouldn't feel like you're walking on eggshells, worried that one wrong move will make her lose interest. That's not a relationship. It's a job interview with no paycheck. Psychologically, when someone feels the need to chase, it triggers scarcity. You start believing this is your only shot, and that illusion keeps you stuck. But guess what? You're not supposed to spend your life convincing someone to love you. The right woman won't need convincing, she'll just know. 3. She flirts with you, but only when she's bored. One of the most manipulative forms of interaction is what we call situational flirting. This is when she only shows interest during downtime, when she's bored, lonely, or emotionally vulnerable, but disappears the moment something better comes along. You might notice that she suddenly becomes sweet at night when she's alone or when another guy disappoints her. She texts you with warmth, maybe even a few emojis that get your hopes up. But by morning, it's silence again. That's not affection. That's using you as emotional filler. This tactic is common in today's hookup culture. Psychologically, it's about control. She's keeping you on standby, not because she values you, but because she fears being alone. So you become her emotional backup, the guy who fills the silence, but never the one who gets chosen. If her interest is inconsistent, don't mistake it for complexity. It's not that she's figuring things out, it's that she's already figured out you'll stick around regardless of how she treats you. And until you stop accepting scraps of attention, she'll keep feeding you crumbs. 4. Physical touch. She keeps it distant. Attraction isn't just emotional, it's physical. And our bodies know it before our minds do. When a woman is truly into you, she'll find subtle ways to bridge the physical gap. She might touch your arm during conversation, lean in when you speak, or mirror your movements. But if she consistently avoids physical closeness, pulls away from hugs, recoils from your hand, or stiffens when you're near, that's not chemistry. That's a boundary. And while it's absolutely okay for someone to set physical limits, a consistent lack of warmth is a sign she's not romantically drawn to you. Men often ignore these cues, hoping things will progress over time. But touch is one of the first indicators of desire. If weeks go by and there's still no sign of physical comfort, you're not building a connection, you're building false hope. Here's the rule. Mutual attraction doesn't need permission. It unfolds naturally. If her body is constantly telling you no, don't try to decode it, respect it and move on. Because you deserve someone whose presence is drawn to yours without hesitation. 5. She keeps telling you, she's not ready. When a woman tells you she's not ready for a relationship, believe her. Don't try to rationalize it. Don't think you'll be the exception. And don't fall into the trap of waiting for her to change her mind. This statement is her psychological safety net. It allows her to enjoy your presence without making a commitment. And if she was truly into you, she wouldn't risk losing you to hesitation. Women know when a man is a good match, and when they know, they act. Period. "She's not ready" is often code for, "I don't like you enough to date you, but I like the attention." You become her emotional side project, the guy she turns to when she's bored, needs validation, or wants to feel desired, but not the one she actually wants to build something with. Stop treating her uncertainty as a challenge. You're not here to fix someone's emotional readiness. You're here to find someone who's already ready for you. Anything less is self-sabotage in disguise. 6. She doesn't ask about you, think about it. When you like someone, you want to know more about them. You ask questions. You remember small details. You show interest in their world, not just because it's polite, but because you care. If she never asks about your passions, your day, your goals, or even how you're doing, she's not emotionally invested. This is a red flag that often hides in plain sight, because she might respond to your texts, she might even talk a lot. But if the conversation is always about her problems, her work, her feelings, while you're just a silent listener, then you're not in a two-way connection. You're an emotional vending machine. Psychologically, this reflects self-absorption or disinterest. If she genuinely saw you as a potential partner, she'd be curious. She'd lean in emotionally and mentally. But if she never digs deeper, never remembers the stories you tell, never celebrates your wins or checks in on your lows, you're not in her heart, you're just in her contact list. And here's the harsh truth: when someone cares, you won't have to wonder. The silence in her questions says more than the words in her texts. Don't chase someone who can't even be bothered to get to know you. 7. Her social media tells a different story. In today's world, social media is a window into someone's priorities. If she flirts with you in private, but acts single in public, it's not an oversight, it's a strategy. You've probably seen it. She sends you sweet messages at night, but her Instagram stories are full of cryptic quotes, selfies, and posts clearly meant for attention. She's in your DMs acting close, but never acknowledges you online. She doesn't like your posts, avoids being tagged, and acts like you don't exist in her digital life. This disconnect is not just privacy, it's image control. She wants the benefits of your attention without compromising how others see her. And deep down, you feel it. You feel like a secret. And secrets aren't romantic, they're dismissive. Psychologically, this is a power play. It keeps her options open while keeping you emotionally attached. And if you question her about it, she'll say you're overreacting. But the truth is, love doesn't hide. Interest doesn't operate in the shadows. If she's publicly single and privately affectionate, then it's not affection. It's manipulation. 8. You're always the backup plan. Here's how you know. She only reaches out when her first choice flakes. She cancels often. Plans with you feel like afterthoughts. And when you do hang out, it's always on her terms, her schedule, her location, her mood. If you feel like you're constantly waiting on her, waiting for her to reply, to commit, to confirm, it's not because she's busy. It's because she's not prioritizing you. People make time for what matters, and if she wanted to, she would. Being the backup plan isn't just about scheduling, it's about energy. If you're always giving more, investing more, hoping more, then the emotional weight is one-sided. You're pouring from a full cup into someone who won't even offer a sip. This dynamic damages your self-worth. It conditions you to accept less, to overcompensate, and to shrink your needs just to stay in her orbit. But love doesn't feel like that. Real connection feels mutual, not conditional. If you're always waiting, she's already decided. She just hasn't told you. 9. She's not jealous at all. Contrary to popular belief, a healthy level of jealousy can be a sign of genuine care. When someone likes you, they notice how others interact with you. They may not act possessive, but they will signal some level of emotional reaction. But when a woman shows zero curiosity, when she doesn't flinch when other women are around you, doesn't ask about your dating life, or even encourages you to date others, it's not confidence. It's disinterest. Psychologically, emotional detachment breeds indifference. If she truly wanted something with you, even the idea of competition would spark a subtle shift. She might tease you, playfully mark her territory, or probe a little. That's human nature. But if you feel like she couldn't care less, she probably doesn't. And here's what's worse. Some women pretend to be cool with anything to avoid confrontation while slowly phasing you out. Don't confuse silence for strength. In the emotional realm, total silence often means total absence of attachment. Don't lie to yourself to stay hopeful. 10. You're still hoping she'll come around. This one hurts the most because it's the hardest to admit. You're holding on. You're stuck in the idea of what could be, not what is. You're waiting for her to change, to realize your value, to suddenly wake up and want you. But the longer you wait, the more you become emotionally imprisoned by a fantasy. You know the signs. You've felt the inconsistency. But you keep justifying it. She's been hurt before. She needs time. She's confused. And maybe all of that is true. But none of it changes this fact. She's not choosing you. Not now. And maybe not ever. This psychological trap is called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same tactic used in gambling. Sometimes you get a hit of affection, so you stay invested, hoping for more. But in reality, you're losing far more than you're gaining. Freedom begins when you stop hoping for closure from the person who broke you. Let go. Not because you don't care, but because you do. Because your peace is more important than her confusion. And the right woman, she won't make you guess. She'll make you feel seen. If you saw yourself in these signs, it's time to stop chasing potential and start honoring your reality. Don't waste your worth trying to convince someone to care, because once you stop playing their game, you'll finally win yours.